This is the beautiful sky of Africa at sunrise. In the distance, the ocean, landscape covered with trees, houses in between the trees, green, lush, far as the eye can see. A lot of YouTubers make videos showing how beautiful Africa is, and some even make videos showing that it's like America and London, which is, to me, is really foolish because that part of Africa that they're praising for being like London and America, they're not seeing that London and all these other places are falling apart. And we shouldn't be building something that's going to fall apart. Am I right or wrong? We shouldn't be building something that's going to fall apart like they did, like their system did. Anyway, this is our sunrise. I made you yesterday a video about this foolish man, Borrell from EU, his sunset. This is our sunrise. Now, he complained that we in the so-called global south, he called it the jungle, that he and his European people have to come and make a beautiful garden of it. He calls our place the jungle and his place a beautiful garden. But as you can see, this beautiful garden, this jungle is filled with fruit trees everywhere. Fruit trees. People build lovely, beautiful dwellings. Me, I'm not worried about. Well, in a way, I am worried. Because if we don't look at what he says seriously and go serious, I would encourage everyone to go look at his speech. I would encourage everyone to go read his speech. This is the message. You can find it in the Eurasia Times. In neo-colonial rant, EU says Europe is a garden superior to the rest of the world. Joseph Borrell. Go find Joseph Borrell's speech, read it for yourself, and decide whether or not you want to allow what he wants to do in Africa, as he called it, the global south. In Africa, South America, Caribbean, and Southeast Asia, where the world majority of black people live. And he says that it's 20% of the world, but we know, of course, it is not 20% of the world population. Africa had alone 1.4 billion people. And if you count the other Africans around the world, we are over 2 billion. One third of the world's population is black or mixed with other nationalities. It's African or mixed with other nationalities. The Asians call it black because black is a color. African or other nationalities. So now is our turn. Are we going to do something about building, making our, no, make no doubt about it, by 2034, this thing is going to start shaking itself out. And if we're not prepared to to assume or resume, I should say, because we were leaders in just 1,000 years ago, even less than that, 1400s, 600 years ago, we had Southern Europe. We were the builders of all of Southern Europe. You can still see the buildings standing today in Spain and Portugal, France, and England that we African people built. They're still standing while the so-called pinnacle of society, modern man, what he's building is falling apart. So are we going to resume our responsibility? Are we going to take up our responsibility again to rebuild what has been destroyed? Are we? Because all they did was destroy. We always lived in symbiotic relationship with nature. They try to kill off nature. If you look at every land that they've been in, it's poison. The land is poisoned. The dirt is blowing away. The dust is turned to dust. Now they got to keep on pouring fertilizer into it in order to grow something from it. And they're able to grow less and less every year. Soon they won't be able to grow anything but corn and wheat on the land that they are growing on. And that's because they have to pump fertilizer into that soil. So are we going to pick up resume our place, reassume our place? Like I said, this is our sunrise. But if we don't take it, it will become a sunset just like this. The whole earth will become dark. Because this man will destroy it. He is willing to destroy. He's talking about, in his message, he's talking about using nuclear weapons. Fighting Russia to the end. So, but that's his nature. You study European history, like I said in one of my videos before, they fought wars that lasted hundreds of years. If you go back and read their history, you see that they fought wars that last 100 years and they were happy with it. Their rule is marked by, I mean, if you go back and look at the Greek and Roman Empire, see, it's constant war, never a time of peace. Constant war. So, time to take up. Because right now, they're destroying everything. That so-called garden, who makes war in a garden? And that's what they did. They created, I'm not even go there, but this is the war that is being fought right now in their garden. Just think about it. That beautiful garden, war being fought in it. So, Africans, wherever you are, it's time to start building. Any of your leaders that don't want to go along with the program got to be put out of office. put them on a boat and send them to the garden that their masters have built. Seriously, put them on the boat. That's where their money is, in Europe. Let them go enjoy their money. Remember Duvalier? He had all his money in France, and as soon as he was out of power, the French took his money and put him in a house and said, you can't leave this house. You're in prison here. Your leaders, our leaders, don't think about this. But that's the fate that awaits them. As soon as they can't do what their masters want them to do. So, either they're going to work with us, do what they're supposed to do, or anyway, like I said, a beautiful sunrise. That's the future that awaits us. But we have to take it. And if we don't take it, these people are talking about re-enslaving us and turning our land into their garden. So if our land is their garden, guess what? We're back in slavery. Because we're the ones who are going to work the garden. They don't have the strength to do it. Their genetic, their genes are breaking down. That's why you see Europe, they're all old people in Europe. Genetic makeup is just failing. That's why they're letting Africans into Europe. To rebuild that genetic pool. They did it once before, if you read history. (1300 to 1478), I think it was. 1485. That's what they did. And it was a specific plan. They said, let us bring them in. And then all we have to do is marry them to our daughters. And after a while, the skin color of our people will return to what it is, and we will wipe out their skin color from our society. That's what they did. But we don't study history. We have to look at the past, see, don't repeat it. Anyway, have a great day wherever you are. Read the article. Please read Joseph Borrell's article. Please. The mindset is a destructive mindset, and the destruction is aimed at us. All right. Wherever you are, have a great day. Peace.